Many people, think of the summit and think of things like we do that are very visible, but we consider ourselves a support organization and we do what we can to empower the neighborhoods so that they can do their work.
I feel like I learn from their informational resources, their expert consultation, and I really feel happy after them rather than feeling sort of overwhelmed or frustrated or even confused. Really, the Invest in Neighborhood style is to give you the resources you need, but then also help you use them. So it's so much more than just information. It makes you feel efficacious.
It was really beneficial to have Invest in Neighborhoods act as a third party, not because we had tension between us, but more so to validate that we were moving in the right direction.
Invest in Neighborhood has provided various services for us: consulting, education and training, and resources, financial resources. So they've been a real assistance and help. Elizabeth had been responsive to every question I've ever asked or ran to her with a problem for a solution. She's been there.
Invest in Neighborhoods has hosted the Neighborhood Summit for almost 20 years now. This landmark event that everyone anticipates every year, brings hundreds of people together, and suddenly we had to cancel it 4 days before the event. It was dramatic. And we had to stop, and we had to come together, and we had to figure out how would we take all the good things from the summit, the learning, the sharing, the connecting, the collaborating, and the energy, and how could we still do this in this new environment, in this new virtual world that we have found ourselves in. Thank you, David, very much for doing this.
This is exciting. This is really exciting. And what this is about is the first of a series of conversations about things that some of our neighborhood leaders are doing in this weird time.
We pivot and we continue to try to do what we can because we think this neighborhood is important.
We support each other, and it's a community, a diverse community, and we're excited about the things that are going on. So I'm just telling everybody, look forward to other things coming up.
So what we've seen is that as they're displaced, their relationships are broken with the community, with family, with church, with schools, and that in many cases, those relationships are never rebuilt. And so we started working on creating a community safe center to try and address some of those needs.
I think right now in this particular space, our job is to really listen to what the needs of the community are so that we can respond to that.
I've been out in the community. I've been, at the protest, and you're absolutely right. It's a lot of young people out there, and they have a lot of energy that needs to be funneled in some productive ways that we can actually have some change, like in the system, right? So it's great to have our voice in that space, but then what is the action behind it? And
immediately after we found ourselves in this situation of this COVID-19 lockdown, we turned around and we put every single community council on our G Suite. And this gave them access to Google Meets so that they could hold their virtual meetings and learn how to hold their virtual meetings and continue to do the really important work in their neighborhoods.
I think that we'll continue to use this virtual platform even after we're able to resume our in-person meetings. It's convenient for people to be able to attend virtually to stay engaged and informed about what's going on. And even for people who aren't very computer savvy, the ability to dial in and listen to a meeting and give their input was also something that we didn't have before.
The neighborhood is the unit of change, but we are within a city and everyone has to work on these issues together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. And in the spirit of community councils, neighborhood organizations, and all of the neighborhood people across the city, We are demonstrating what great things can happen even if you have a very low budget by bringing everyone together with skills and talents and time and commitment. And this is fantastic. So welcome to the 2020 Night of the Neighborhoods. I, for better or worse, am your MC for the night, Elizabeth Bartley, Executive Director at Invest in Neighborhoods. And tonight we have a relatively short program. We know we all have Zoom fatigue, and we are hopefully sprinkling some very good stuff from the different events that we've had in between with a little bit of fun here. So I'm going to give you a short run of the program. After our little piece here, we are then going to do the Friend of the Neighborhoods Award this year. We will have the Summit Community Awards announcements, and then we will also have the mini grant winners live here in our wonderful little homemade studio. The trivia is going to be done in between the segments. It will be done as a poll. If you have any problem answering the poll, put your answer in chat. And by the end of the evening, we will have figured out who the winner is, or the winners. All the winners will get to be put into the raffle, and we'll pull one out as the prime winner who gets the $200 Tool Bank credit, and then everybody else goes into the raffle, and then we're going to end our night with the raffle. So it's a relatively short program, but we hope it's a lot of fun and everybody gets to enjoy it. Before I turn it over, I really want to thank our sponsors, Tool Bank and Tulip Financial Planning. You will see as we move the camera around and do different things tonight, we are actually at the Tool Bank warehouse space where they let us come in and do this and set up a happily socially distanced little studio sets and to rummage through everything that they had so we can put this together. So massive thank you to Tool Bank on all that they've let us done and all that the help that they have given us. So to start with, I would like to introduce the new president of Invest in Neighborhoods, Andrea Carter, and I'm turning it over to her.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Night for the Neighborhoods. It is an honor and a pleasure to serve as your board president of Invest in Neighborhoods. And I know I'm filling big shoes. On behalf of the board, I want to thank our former board president, Jake Williams, for all the work that he has done on behalf of the organization and the Cincinnati's Community Councils. It is unfortunate Jake could not be here with us tonight, but I ask everyone to join me in giving Jake a round of applause. So everyone here in the studio, applaud real quick. Thank you, everyone. Thank you at home for joining us in that applause. Jake, you did a great job. It's just sorry you couldn't be here to hear it yourself. But now I look forward to working with the dedicated volunteers who serve on our community councils and on our board. Now, on with the show. Elizabeth, take it away.
Back to me again. So the next segment we are doing is we are doing our Friend of the Neighborhoods Award, and joining us live on Zoom, Robbie Suggs, last year's winner, to present the award to Kathy Schwab, who is this year's winner.
Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. First of all, inaugural winner. Please say that, because I am the first and there can be only one first. So thank you very much. So I have an enormous pleasure to announce Kathy Schwab as the next winner of the Friends of the Neighborhood Award. And first of all, see this lovely award. This is what is coming your way. She's gorgeous and she's in a prominent place in my home. So I've known Kathy for a really long time. And so when I was asked to announce her for this award, I was thrilled, and I was really thinking, well, she's probably going to be disappointed. It could be someone else much more prominent, but I'm what you get, Kathy. And I don't even think you're here in the city anywhere. You're someplace enjoying, I think, great weather too. So, so Kathy, she's been around in Cincinnati for a very long time. She has an extensive background in real estate, and she brought that to us to run some very prestigious programs for the city. one of course, which is LISC. Then she decided last year, after being there for, I believe, like 11 years, that she was going to retire. As being the advisory board president, I don't know how we let that happen, but we did. So she did retire last year. So during her tenure at LISC, she brought to bear some great programs like the Special Improvement District Program, downtown Cincinnati, where she was the vice president. And she was there from 98 to 2004. So again, they must have really liked her as well. During her time at LISC, she helped to leverage a $136 million portfolio for investments, which is huge by anybody's standards. So she really knows what she's doing there. And what also she brings to the table is she tends to know the right people to engage in what's going on, so that there's not a lot of wasted time. If something needs to happen, especially if it's affordable housing, if Kathy's there, she knows the people to bring to the table to make it happen. So it's been a pleasure working with her. I'm so pleased to be able to announce her for this award. And thank you for all you've done, Kathy, and all you will continue to do, because retirement for you is not like retirement for most people. So, Kathy, thank you.
I want to give you a hug.
I know.
Robbie, I couldn't have anybody more prominent to introduce me. Thank you. And you've been a great board chair. You've been a great friend. We've commiserated over neighborhoods, over issues, and all kinds of things. So it's great to see you, and it's great to see people on this call. I miss that. I miss that because of COVID. I miss it because it is so important to reach out. If you all didn't know that neighborhoods were important before COVID, before this pandemic, we all know it now. We know how important it is to drop cookies off to your neighbor, to just check in, to just walk down the street and be able to say hi to people. Mm-hmm. I really want to thank you, and I want to thank Elizabeth and Daniel and the whole Invest Board for nominating me for this. I actually have spent my entire adult life working and being involved in neighborhoods. Whether in the 70s, it was starting the Prospect Hill Community Urban Redevelopment Neighborhood Association, whether it was going to Mount Auburn Community Council meetings, and then we moved to Clifton, and I actually ran for Clifton Town Meeting, and of course I didn't make it, but I did run with little babies, and then because I wanted to be involved. And then we moved to North Avondale, and I spent 20 years being involved in that neighborhood and loving that neighborhood as we raised our kids. Since we've been childless or empty nesters, we moved to over the Rhine and downtown, and I found different neighborhoods there. I'm sort of straddled between Mount Adams and downtown, and I find that I have two neighborhoods because I walk in Mount Adams and wave to people that I see every day. So neighborhoods are so important, and I had the gift of being able to work at LISC for 11 years, where I actually got paid to support and work with neighborhoods and give money to neighborhoods. That was sort of my dream, that when I retired, I wanted to either work at a foundation where I could give money away, or work in a neighborhood where I could help do real estate development. So at LISC, I got to do both, and I got paid. I mean, how awesome is that? So thank you all. This has been really very sweet, and it's a great award. It's very pretty. Thank you, Robbie. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kathy. Back to you, Elizabeth.
And certainly, Kathy, a well-deserved award, and we're very proud of you. We're going to do the trivia tonight, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going to read the questions, and then you will have a chance to answer them. There's 3 in each segment. The first one is, what neighborhood was named after the 4th POTUS? In case you don't know, POTUS is President of the United States. First answer could be Mount Auburn. Second one, Madisonville. Third one is Garfield Heights, and the last one is Sedamsville. That's question number 1. Question number 2, what neighborhood hosts the highest natural point in Cincinnati? Once again, Mount Auburn, Mount Lookout, Mount Airy, or Mount Washington. And the final one for this segment, which neighborhood has the smallest Cincinnati park? Sailor Park, California, Pendleton, or Winton Hills? You now have 45 seconds to answer those. Thank you.
I hope that worked. Trying to figure out how to do trivia when you're doing Zoom and doing it live was a bit of a challenge, but there we go. We did our best. If we need to tweak it again before the next one, we will behind the scenes. But now I'd really like to turn to our next segment, which we are now doing the wrap up to the 2020 Neighborhood Summit of the little things that we didn't get to, even though we managed to do our mini summits throughout several months. So first up is going to be the recipients of the 2020 Community Awards.
Award goes to an individual. Our first award for the evening is Everybody Counts Award. 2020 Summit Theme Award goes to an individual, community group, organization, or collaborative whose work has gone above and beyond to include communities, groups, individuals, or places who have been overlooked in the past. Projects or programs in this category have had to occur over the last 3 years and reflect one of the following categories: volunteerism, civic engagement, creating equitable and inclusive opportunities, community initiatives, or collective action. And the winner is Tommy Ruff of Happen Incorporated.
And I am the president of Northside Community Council. It's my honor to present the Everybody Counts Award to the very deserving Tommy Ruff, the founder and executive director of Happen Inc. Tommy works tirelessly to provide arts and culture programming to families that happen. You will often hear him at our monthly community council meetings, reminding us that community isn't where you live, it's how you live with other people. And while the list of programming and offerings that Happen provides to the community free of charge is long, including the reading window, the teens serving teens in the community, the Happen breadwinners, and Teen Hall, I want to take a minute to talk about how Happen was able to quickly adapt to the global pandemic. Within days of the stay-at-home order being issued in March, Tommy launched Happen at Home, where he provided educational and creative projects that families could do at home. Well, he also launched Kids Making the News Happen, where his Happen teens filmed the news from their homes. Thanks to the success of KMNH, Tommy and Happen were able to open a new studio where the teens now film their show that airs weekly. While most of us were worrying about where we were going to get our next roll of toilet paper, Tommy was hard at work making sure that the kids who depended on Happen's programming could still be engaged despite the pandemic that we all faced. Tommy is a selfless person who has volunteered countless hours for Happen. I've seen him work hard to continue programming in a safe way by utilizing the beautiful new Happen Community Garden on Hoffner Street in Northside so that families could be socially distanced outdoors. It is safe to say that Northside wouldn't be the same if it weren't for him, and we are so grateful that he picked us when he moved Happen here in 2009. So without further ado, I give you Tommy Ruff.
Thank you for those kind words, and thank you for leading us in our neighborhood here in Northside as the Community Council President. So I'm honored to have this award and to receive it, and thank you to Elizabeth and Daniel and everybody at Invest in Neighborhoods for continuing to put on this program even in this difficult times. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. And I also want to thank our donors and also our volunteers that have really helped make happen over the years. And I especially want to thank the families that and the kids that have been involved, because they really have made Happen a family tradition, and I thank them as well. Thank you.
Next up, is the Community Catalyst of the Year. This award recognizes a volunteer in a community organization whose energy and ideas led to a project or program that gets community members involved and excited, that produces good outcomes and results in increased neighborhood engagement. And the winner is Tyrone Gray for One Westwood.
I am Leslie Maddie Rich. I'm the Executive Director of Westwood Works, and I am so thrilled to be able to celebrate the Community Catalyst of the Year winner, Tyrone Gray, for his work through the One Westwood initiative. And I've known Ty for many years, and he has always had a love for the community, which goes way back to his service on the Westwood Community Urban Revitalization Community Corps. And he also is really motivated by his love of community, his love of Westwood in particular, and this work with One Westwood to bring people together across racial backgrounds is really grounded in the social justice tenets that are important to him and his faith. And what I think is so remarkable about Ty is that it would have been really easy for him, based on what he saw in the Westwood of the past, to give up and move on and to be discouraged. But he was one of the first people committed to a difference in Westwood, to say, we believe that we can create a Westwood where everyone feels valued despite their race. And let's talk about what has happened, the history of racism in the neighborhood, because if we don't address the history, we're not going to be able to move forward. And he was willing to have uncomfortable conversations, to push people in their thinking, but then to move forward and talk about what does it look like for us to repair the breach. And that is why I am so happy to be presenting Ty this award. And due to some health concerns in his family, Ty couldn't be here today to accept that award, but I am so thrilled to accept it on his behalf, and we can't wait to celebrate with him in Westwood.
The next award is the Lifetime Achievement Award. This award goes to an individual whose life and work has benefited all of Cincinnati by creating inclusiveness, increasing the viability of community activities and organizations, and supporting neighborhood and neighborhood leaders. And the winner is, as we know and love him as, Father Joe Folsom Logan.
Today I'd like to introduce Father Joe Folsom Logan. I've known Father Joe for 30 some years, first as a Jesuit priest, but more so in the last 10 years in his work in the Winton Hills neighborhood. He's been the president of the Winton Hills Community Council. He's headed up a stakeholders group of folks in the neighborhood as well. So I get to see and talk with Joe a lot. He really cares about the residents of his neighborhood, and that's a quality, I think, of good leadership. He knows that neighborhood so well because he's worked there so long. And the beautiful thing is I see how everyone not only knows him, but loves him. This year, Father Joe celebrates his 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Joe. His work with the residents of the Winton Hills community reminds me of the Jesuit motto, a man for others. And I'm proud today to recommend Father Joe for this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Thank you. In working with a community, you can't be a lone ranger. You need to have a lot of people working with you. Gary has been a mentor to me, but there's a whole litany of people, our executive board, people in charge of the other organizations in the neighborhood. So in accepting this award, I'm grateful, but I also realize that this award is for all of the people who have worked with me and supported me over the years.
Our last award is Rookie of the Year. With this award, we recognize that hard work and dedication to positive change in our neighborhoods isn't just something undertaken by the old hats and hands. This award is for the under 30 newcomers who are bringing passion, fierce commitment, and new forms of organizing and activism to make our city a better place for all. And this year we have two winners. They are Jeremiah Thornton and Madeline Gerker. Congratulations, everyone. Good job.
Hi, I'm Marcia Thornton, and I have the opportunity to recognize Mads Gerker for her work to bring a sidewalk to her neighborhood. Mads was only in the 4th grade when she wrote a letter to City Council because she was concerned about the safety of herself, her siblings, and the 600 other families that walk to school in her neighborhood. Because of her passion and interest in pedestrian safety, Mads wrote a letter to City Council and they actually answered the call. So next year, a sidewalk will be constructed and her 2 siblings will be able to walk safely to school. Mads is also a 7th grade student at Clark, and she is the co-chair of the Pedestrian Safety Committee, which is called STOPS, Students Taking on Pedestrian Safety. Please help me in congratulating Mads Gerker.
Thank you for the award. I'm excited, and I look forward to continue making positive change so that people can walk safely in Cincinnati.
Hi everyone, my name's Heather Gerker, and I'm excited to be here tonight to present an award to JT Thornton. I met JT when he was in 6th grade at Covedale Elementary and was immediately impressed with him. He's a smart young man who works really hard and plays several different sports. Despite all of this, he still finds time to advocate for things that mean something to him. And in this case, it's pedestrian safety. JT and his friends wrote a song called It's Lit to Not Get Hit, and then performed that song to create a music video. You may have seen the video before because it has aired nationwide on many different news channels and across the internet, and here in Cincinnati locally as well. Mads and JT are co-chairs of STOPS, which is the Students Taking on Pedestrian Safety Committee in Greg Landsman's office. Together, they have been pretty impressive in the way they're leading a group of young folks and continuing the work of pedestrian safety. Join me in congratulating JT as Rookie of the Year.
Thank you, Ms. Gerker, for congratulating me on the award. I also like to thank Mads for being a co-chair with me. I'd lastly like to thank Councilman Landsman for helping us set up the task force and also helping us run it.
Finding out who has been selected for the awards every year is a very major event. And we want to thank everyone who has participated because you, the neighborhoods, the communities, make up Cincinnati. Now on to the second and final part of the trivia. The first question, in 1850, what neighborhood held the first Ohio State Fair? Was it Westwood, Roselawn, Camp Washington, or Avondale? Second question, the Clifton neighborhood was named after 1, Dr. Cliff Torres, 2, Clifton Farms, 3, Mr. Martin Clifton, or number 4, Clifford the Big Red Dog. And the final question, folks, is which organization assists community councils in more ways than Zoom allows us to input? 1, invest in neighborhoods. 2, neighborhoods get invested. 3, invest in Cincinnati's communities. And finally, neighborhoods rock. Thank you. Good luck.
Excuse me, I was laughing at that last question. I did not see the questions ahead of time, so thank you for our question maker. Quick note on the trivia, we are having technical difficulties. I hope you're having fun playing with it, but what we're going to do is everybody who's online right now, we're putting your name in the hat and we're going to pull your name as the winner of the trivia because we just cannot figure out how else to do this. So our next section is going to be live in our studio, what we're calling our Dick Cavett studio. It is the winners of the Summit Mini Grants, and this is being presented by Emma Shuri and Liz Bloom from CBI, who are our partners in being able to make this happen this year for the Neighborhood Summit.
Good evening. Thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Emma Shari. I'm very excited to be here tonight to be able to support the announcement of the Summit Mini Grant awardees. This mini grant program was designed to support small projects focused on community building in our neighborhoods in Cincinnati. And we had hoped to be able to present this back in March, but we all know that there have been some challenges. We received an overwhelming number of applicants for our first year doing these awards. We received over 80 applications, and these 4 awardees are being awarded just over $1,000 to support their ideas. These 4 awardees rose to the occasion of still wanting to implement their projects, even being in a global pandemic. Before I announce the awardees, I would like to thank our sponsor, PNC Bank, for their support, and for Invest in Neighborhoods for partnering with CBI to make these projects possible. I also want to thank the panel of judges who helped us review all of the applications and ultimately settle on the finalists and awardees. So I'm going to talk through quickly the 4 projects that we have awarded and then call them up to give a little bit more information. So the first award went to Camp Washington Community Board for their Urban Farm Roundtable project, which will support the construction of outdoor meeting space and eating space at their urban farm. Sydney Nation is here to talk about the project tonight. The second project is Girls Rock Cincinnati. This project was implemented this summer in the Price Hill communities. This was a virtual week-long camp for youth in Price Hill to learn about arts and music and activism, through those mediums. Marlo Salem is here tonight to talk about the project. The next project was awarded to Groundwork Ohio River Valley. We awarded their community greenhouse project, which is activating a new state-of-the-art greenhouse in Madisonville. Sophie Rivas is here to talk about the project tonight. And the final grant was given to the Lower Price Hill Urban Farm to Table project, which is undertaking an urban gardening project in Lower Price Hill in conjunction with Euler School. Brian Talbert is here tonight to talk about that project. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it over to Liz Bloom, who is going to interview our awardees.
Thank you very much, Emma. I'm very excited to be here. I think we should call this place Studio Tool Bank. And I actually hope you can see my feet. Nobody has seen my feet in like about 6 months, so I put on heels. I would like to ask our first award winner, Sydney Nation, to join us now. Sydney's going to talk about the Camp Washington Roundtable, and I want to also congratulate Sydney for her new job as the Executive Director of the CDC in Camp.
Thank you, Liz. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our project with the Urban Farm. So over the years, Camp Washington Community Board has ran the Urban Farm, but recently we invested in a new farmer and project with Chris Smith with the Orchard Project, and he puts orchards on vacant lots around the city. He's done some in Price Hill. He's done some a little bit of everywhere. And he's really setting up shop in the urban farm to kind of make it a sustainable project where people can come in and see how you can put orchards kind of anywhere in vacant lots and things. But he also recently we're redesigning the whole farm to create an area where you can do a homestead, so you can come in and see what it looks like for your home. But he wants to make it a more educational space. So with this grant, we're able to build a gazebo and some picnic tables, and invite community members in to kind of learn about farming and how you can have farming at your house and easy ways to kind of incorporate it into your everyday living.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Sydney. Next, we're going to be joined by Marlo Salem, who's here to talk about Girls Rock Cincinnati in the Greater Price Hills.
Hi, I'm Marlo. I am the Executive Director of Girls Rock Cincinnati. We are a music and creative arts camp for girls and gender variant youth ages 12 to 18 in Greater Cincinnati. We are in our second year running, and we are very thankful for this grant because it allowed us to host our second annual camp virtually, kind of last minute, with totally tuition free. So we believe that high quality music education is a fundamental human right. We believe that the revolution is full of joy and music. And so anybody that wants to participate in camp should have access to participate in camp. So we operate on a sliding scale tuition basis, and we are 100% volunteer and donation run organization. So that being said, we are entering into an annual giving campaign this November to raise $10,000 so that camp can be tuition free forever. And so that we can set up an equitable stipend program for our volunteers and our amazing organizers who do so much incredible work. Yeah, that's Girls Rock Cincinnati. It's part of a national, international coalition of camps all across the world. We're part of a larger network, and we're extremely thankful for all of those who have participated with us, who have supported us, and for Invest in Neighborhoods for supporting us as well.
Emma said this, but you got to give these guys credit. They did these projects, they envisioned them before the pandemic, and then it took all of what they had to get this stuff together. Our next award winner I'm going to invite to the table is Sophia Rivas. Sophia is with Groundwork Ohio River Valley, and she's going to talk about a project that they're doing in Madisonville.
Thank you so much. My name is Sophie with Groundwork Ohio River Valley. Thanks to Invest in Neighborhoods, we were able to have our green team at the greenhouse in Madisonville. We were able to activate this brand new state-of-the-art lighthouse or greenhouse that was built by Lighthouse Community Schools, which serves children in the child welfare system. So with these students, we are able to build and design pollinator gardens, urban orchards, and also grow trees for reforestation efforts on the nearby Little Duck Creek Trail. So thank you so much.
Thank you. The sustainability part of me is really excited that all of these green projects are award winners this year. Last but absolutely not least, we're going to be joined by Brian Talbert. Brian is going to talk about the Lower Price Hill Urban Farm to Table project that they are partnering with at Oyler School. And I'm going to start by telling you that Brian gets a pass no matter what happens, because everybody who is in schools and working with kids right now deserves all the credit in the world. Brian?
Thank you. I really appreciate getting this grant and letting our students have the opportunity to work on this urban garden. We have an existing infrastructure on a rooftop garden at Oyler, and with this grant, I'm going to be able to enhance that and really have a garden club where we're going to learn how to grow food, which is really important, not only in Oyler, but just in general. We've really lost the connection to where our food comes from in this country, well, in this world, really, and especially in a place like Oyler where it's a food desert already. So what this is going to allow us to do is have a garden club, teach them how to have some self-sufficiency, grow their own food in a small area, as well as like how to preserve it. And then we're going to ultimately give the food pantry at Oyler some of our excess so that they can get some good, healthy ingredients and fresh ingredients to the neighborhood.
Thank you, Brian. One more time, thanks to PNC Bank. All of this would not be possible without them. They've been a great supporter of this and the Summit and Invest for many years, and we greatly appreciate that. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Andrea, who's going to do the next thing.
Hi, everyone. I know this is better. Hi, everyone. I wanted to say congratulations to all the mini grant winners. And before we move on to find out who is the winner of the raffle, I just wanted to have everyone raise their glass. Does everyone have a glass out there in Zoom land? Do you have a glass? Raise it, even if it's just water. Just raise the glass. Excellent, excellent. And we're going to do a toast real quick. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. I ask everyone to join me in celebrating all of our neighborhoods, our neighbors, our volunteers, our partners, and then yourselves. You all know how hard work you've done in the neighborhoods. And for all the hard work that you do, thank you for taking the time and working on behalf of the neighborhoods. Cheers. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take my drink now. Elizabeth, it's up to you.
Good evening. My name is Kat Petmeyer. I'm the executive director at the Cincinnati Tool Bank, and we're going to go ahead and pull a couple of winners. The first one I'm going to pull is we put everybody who is participating tonight into a little drawing to win a credit for the Tool Bank that you can use in your neighborhood to complete some community projects. So the winner for the first part is Catherine Gardette. Congratulations, Catherine. So for the second one, we're gonna get a little bit more fancy with this. We're gonna mix them up. This is for the bourbon basket. And hold on a second. Make sure all the names are in there. The winner of the bourbon basket is going to be Brad Kahn. Congratulations, Brad. And thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. I'm going to kick this back to Elizabeth.
We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, I get to start all over again. And those of you who know me are not surprised. It's like, oh, look, she's out of the screen and now she's back and she's going to wander all over the place. So I'll just start slowly again. This is our program, which is great. We have a tiny bit of time here. So a few things. First off, congratulations to the folks who randomly ran the trivia, the $200 Tool Bank, and to the winner of the bourbon basket, which we're all very, very jealous because that's a very impressive bourbon basket. Really want to thank the community people who received their awards and the fact that they took the time to do the pre-recording on those from the 2020 Summit. And then absolutely congratulations to all of the winners of the mini grant. I'm so excited we got to do it this year, and we will continue to do it as best as we can from here on out. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to have to be followed by the camera because we had to change things slightly a little bit. So this is the end of our program. And I want to make absolutely sure that all the people that you guys can't see, you just saw them very quickly in the camera pan around, are thanked. Daniel Trakoff has gone above and beyond the call of duty doing these videos and these pre-recordings and that amazing video that he did at the very beginning. Marlo sitting next to him. Yes, she's a mini grant winner, but she also volunteered to be our sound person for this. And again, couldn't have done it without her. Kat Patmeyer for really letting us go to town here in Toolbank. We have some people behind the scenes at home, like Samantha Reeves. She's actually doing some recording for us behind the scenes. This has just been such an incredible effort. So we hope that we actually inspire people to be able to go, you know what, we can do this. Yeah, there were glitches. We're all human. It's part of the fun. It's part of just how it works. But we can do this. We can do these kinds of events. We can understand how to move forward in our new normal and still work together and still communicate with each other. So if you need advice on how to do a live/Zoom live/pre-recorded event, I got the people you can talk to. We will have a few more of the glitches worked out. They're like, wait, no. But if you need a place, you can talk to Toolbank as well. This has been great to be able to do. It was a fantastic experience. I will recommend against anybody trying to put this together start to finish in about 10 days. Oh my God. So the rest of us are who worked on this so hard, we're going to have a drink, get some sleep eventually. So thank you for being here. Thank you for participating, everybody that's here. Thank you for everybody on Zoom. And we will see you either virtually or in person someday again. Thank you very much.